Hey everyone, you know, I've come out here and I did a 3-part video on, a what if. I did a what if scenario. Push comes to shove. On the Sonic the Hedgehog comics future. Recently, Paramount Piglet went to TSSZ and provided a link in one of my comments. And TSSZ reported this, and I'll provide the link down below if you want it, and I'm sure you do. But this is what they provided, and I quote. Well, this is the title. This is the headline title. It says, Archie Sonic email sent after all. States they'll work, quote, working on the situation, unquote. That's the headline title. That Archie Sonic has sent an email after all, and that states they are working, quote unquote, on the situation. Now, it says, and I quote here, this is what they report. This is reported by SSF 1991, and they report, we finally have official word from Archie just moments after I posted an article that seemed to suggest the opposite, of course, at last. Unfortunately, it didn't really give any new info other than we now know that all, he italiced that word, all Sonic comic titles have been delayed. We were not told why this is the case and whether the comics would continue. And this is from Archie Comics themselves. This is what they said, and I quote, this is from Archie Comics, and I quote, this was Archie Comics' response, and I quote, the reason no issues have been received is because there has been a delay on all Sonic titles. We are currently working on the situation and do apologize for this. Once we receive information, we will notify all customers. So, yeah. That's all they gave, was the fact that they're working on the situation, they have confirmed that the titles have been delayed, and once they get more information, they will notify all customers. But they didn't say whether or not the comic was canceled or was going to continue. It was just delayed. Now, a lot of people can come up with their own speculation as to what that delaying could be, and some might even say this is just an excuse by Archie Comics because, one, they don't want to come straight out and tell us the truth. And that might be the case. And I know some of you are probably thinking as you read this article, you click on the link down below here, and you're probably thinking, this can't be right. This is just saying the same thing they've said before. Why aren't we getting the clear information? I'll tell you why. Because apparently Archie Comics is afraid. I think they're afraid to tell us the truth. Now, I'm not saying they're afraid to tell us that the comics is canceled. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're afraid to tell us that the comics could continue, but sparingly. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think they're afraid of telling us that the reason the delay is going on is maybe, one, they did reach an agreement to continue it, but two, they have to rewrite all the stories a specific way. Remember, Paramount Piglet even sent me a link to a screen grab that I posted as an icon, or a JPEG icon, for one of my videos, stating that the latest release date for the comics to come back would be the end of this year. My only assumption is if this delay has anything to do with that, then that tells me that Ian Flynn and all the other creative staff rewriting and reworking certain titles in all the books to the specifications that Sega wants. Because remember, this comic book title is Sonic the Hedgehog. Thus, emphasis should be on Sonic and game characters only. That could probably be the explanation for the delay. Now, I seriously doubt it's a printing problem. I seriously doubt that. I don't know if it's financial reasons. Some could probably say that perhaps because the main focus for Archie so far this year has been Riverdale for the past 5 months now, that's why the delay has been going on. The more focus, the more that's the reason the delay has been happening. The fact that Riverdale is being the main priority. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of Riverdale. I'm an intrigued fan to the point that I want to watch the episodes but haven't been able to. I want to live vicariously through recaps and reviews by various other internet reviewers here on YouTube and on the World Wide Web, like Black Nerd Comedy, Andre Meadows, Green Junkies, Kelly Wilson, you name it, IGN, TV Guide, you name it, AfterBuzz TV. But even though I'm an intrigued fan, it doesn't mean I don't know what's probably. It doesn't mean that I can't figure out the truth about things. And I believe the real reason why there's been a delay in the comics is because everybody at Archie Comics has been told to put the main priority, the main focus on promoting Riverdale any way they can. Comic book, digest, promotional stuff, you name it. Put all the focus on that, and then once the first season's done, you can focus on other projects again. But that's probably why the comics might be one of the main reasons the comics been delayed, because the main focus has been on this thing called Riverdale and not on anything else. Now, I know some of you might sit there and say, well, maybe they should. Now, I know some of you might sit there and go on the flaming keyboards and basically start saying that Archie Comics shouldn't have done Riverdale. That I'm sure you'll come up with some kind of excuse saying that if they had to come up with Riverdale, why couldn't they wait till later on? Like maybe when they had the priority straight to promote and debut the show. I can't really say. I said one time that I think maybe they're hoping it's a huge success, and obviously it is. That it would help them out financially, because a lot of because there has been word going around that financially Archie Comics isn't in the best of places, and hopefully Riverdale, I guess in their eyes, is helping them recover. But even if Riverdale is the main reason the comics is delayed, they shouldn't have to come out and tell us, oh, we're working on the situation, we'll give you more information when it comes available. Why don't you just come out and tell us the truth? Are they afraid we can't accept it? Are they afraid of, let's say, it is Riverdale that's the main reason the comics delayed? That if they come out and say, yes, with the premiere of Riverdale, all main priority by creative staffs of every book by Archie Comics, licensed and main books and licensed books have all been told to put focus on Riverdale, on promoting Riverdale. Are they afraid they at least tell us in some way that they've been told to put main priority on Riverdale that we wouldn't understand? Of course we would. We wouldn't like it, but we would understand. We'd be like, okay, they want to promote this, that's fine. But give us some kind of information. If maybe the comics are being rewritten, the issues are being rewritten, redrawn, rewritten and everything to meet the specifications that Sega wants, okay, let us know. Give us some kind of answer. Don't just come out and tell us, oh, well, yeah, the comics are delayed and we're currently working on the situation. We'll let people know oh, down the line when we have all the information. Or we'll let our customers know when we have all the information. It's like, no. No. You said you were going to, you basically at Archie Comics had said come April you were going to give us an answer. This is not an answer. This is just another pathetic excuse on Archie Comics' part, any comic, and this is for not just Archie Comics, but for any comic book publisher's part, to basically avoid the answering, to avoid the straight questions, because if somebody was to ask them straight up the truth, if they were asked straight up, eye to eye, the truth, or asked from people straight up, eye to eye, the truth about what's going on, they wouldn't be able to pull this kind of excuse. They can't keep pulling this. The fact is, Archie Comics and Sega, they need to come out and they need to let people know what's going on with the comic, and they need to let us know straight up what the reason for the delay is, and not treat us like we don't know what's going on, because a lot of us have our speculation. A lot of us have speculation. Like I said, some of us, a majority of us feel that the main reason the comics have been delayed, along with some other licensed comics, is because you've been putting your main focus on Riverdale. Okay, fine. Some of us feel that the reason they're being delayed is because maybe you're rewriting the stories to meet specifications that Sega wants you to meet. Or it could be any number of things. Maybe you're getting ready to sell the license in agreement. Maybe you and Sega are ready to sell the licensing agreement to somebody else, like IDW or Image. Who knows? Or maybe you want to maybe you're trying to wait to return the comics in time for Sonic Forces or Sonic Mania. Whatever the scenario is, you need to give us a straight answer. They need to not make these kind of excuses, because like people have said, this is the same crap they've pulled before. And a lot of us are fed up with it. A lot of us don't go out there and spend $24 to $48 a year or every 2 years for a subscription, only to wonder where the rest of that subscription is. I mean, I have on my wall, if you want the truth, I'm looking straight at the cover for what was supposed to be Sonic 292. I look over here, and I'm looking at the cover of what was supposed to be the first Freedom Fighters issue, or one of the variant covers for the Freedom Fighters Sonic Universe arc. And yet, I have not seen any of those physically in my hand or anybody else's hand. And this is the reason is because they're working on the situation. No. You need to give us a straight up truth. Straight up answer. End of discussion. No more. Archie Comics, no more. Give us a straight answer. If you care about your customers, give us a straight answer. Because if this delay, and I know some people are thinking of this, if this delay is just an excuse so you don't have to refund people the money from your subscriptions, then that is bad business. That is bad business on your part. That is a bad business decision, and that is ripping off fans. That is ripping off consumers, ripping off people of the money, because you're not fulfilling your promise as a comic book subscriber or subscription service. You're not fulfilling your obligation. And all you're doing is conning people and ripping people off from the money. If this is an excuse to delay refunding people, then it's a bad business. That's bad business on your part. It really is. So hopefully that's not the reason, but I know some people might think it is. But I'm hoping it's one of two reasons. You either reached an agreement with Sega, but the agreement has you is causing you to rewrite the issues that you've already gotten ready to publish and release to the Pacifications, or all your priority and focus has been on the Riverdale series and trying to promote it? You need to give us a straight answer, Archie Comics. Please. I've been a loyal customer for almost 20 years now. I, among many longtime consumers, deserve an answer. Please. But you folks, let me know what you think. What do you think the real reason is? Do you think maybe they're delaying the inevitable of refunding people because they don't want to? Do you think they're delaying because they're rewriting the stories for issues they had ready to publish it? They had ready to go and be released, and now they have to rewrite them to match up Sega Pacifications? Or do you think it's because the staff at Archie Comics has been told to put all the priority and focus on Riverdale? Let me know what you guys think it is. Let me know down below. I'll talk to you later. I'll provide the link in the description box.